Welcome to the Introduction to CAD and CAE. In Simulation Static Stress Part 1, you create two simulations for a wrench. In one simulation, the wrench has no fillets added, and in the second simulation, fillets are added. After completing this lesson, you will be able to create a new simulation study for a wrench, apply constraints and a load, perform a simulation based on the specified settings, generate a report summarizing your simulation setup and results, and create a second simulation on a wrench with modified features. I've started by opening the supplied file wrench_no_fillet. And a review of the part shows that there's a split face and no fillets have been added. Let's go from Model to the Simulation workspace. Static stress is what we want, so click OK. Then we're going to work from left to right, selecting the material. Select Study Materials. It's set to same as Model, which is steel, so that's good. Click OK. Go to Constraint. The type is going to be fixed. That's one of 4 options. So when we review the functionality of the wrench, we know that these faces here and the opposite face should be fixed. And click OK. Now we can apply the load. So under structural load, we have a number of choices. There are 6 of them. We're going with force, and we're going to put it on that split face. Under direction type, change it to angle. And for magnitude, enter 500. That's 500 newtons. Click OK. I can now do a pre-check, and that's successful. Click OK. Then click Solve. Click on Solve One Study. Click Close, and it's then scheduled on the cloud. The simulation is complete, and we can see the results. Starting with safety factor, it has a minimum of 2.14. So that force, when it's applied to the handle, gives us that number. We can look at stress, displacement, 0.4 millimeters approximately, a reaction force, and strain. Let's go back to displacement. You can see the maximum value is displayed. That's controlled under Inspect. You can either show or hide that. I'm going to show it. Then go to Results. The deformation scale, of course, is exaggerated. This is only 0.4 millimeters in actual. It's much more on the screen. Click on Animate, check Two-Way, and then Play. Based on those fixed constraints, the wrench isn't moving in that area. Then you apply the force to either tighten or loosen the nut, and you can see the effect on the wrench handle. Next thing I want to do is create a report. So when you click on Report, we'll create an HTML file. This is the HTML file that was generated for the simulation that I ran. You can see the file name at the top, and underneath all the settings that we put in. Here we see our constraints, the 500 Newton load, and then the results. So a comprehensive listing with the diagrams from all of those results. I'm going to run a second simulation. I've opened up the file called wrench fillet. You can see fillets have been added. Went from model to simulation, and using exactly the same workflow and loads, I ran the simulation. So we look at the result from safety factor, stress, displacement. If you recall, it was just over 0.4. This one's about the same. Reaction force and strain. What I would do now is create a report and then share that report with other members of the design team. And that collaboration could include a live review session, or sharing the files on A360.